Hello everyone. In this video we are going to be reviewing the BJU Press Elementary Spanish Kit A. That's a mouthful. I have a lot of things that I want to share with you, so I've got notes down here in front of me, and just bear with me. This is probably going to be a little longer video, but I really want to give you as much information as possible so you can make the best decision for your family on whether or not this is going to be a curriculum that you're going to enjoy and love like we do, or maybe there's something better out there for you. Now, the first thing that I want to do in this video is give you an overview of the program. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what comes in the kit. I've already done a separate video on that. There's a lot of stuff that comes in the kit, so if you want to know exactly what comes with Kit A, I will link to that video down below and you can go check that out. But I will give you an overview of the program. Secondly, I want to share with you what we are loving about it, because we really are loving it. Third, I want to give you some things to consider. These aren't things that are necessarily good or bad about the program. They're just facts about the way the program works. And I think they're beneficial for you to know about so you can decide if that's going to be a positive or a negative for you in terms of choosing a Spanish curriculum. And then finally, I want to let you know that if I could go back in time, would I purchase this curriculum with my own money? Here's what I mean by that. I was given this curriculum for free in exchange for a review. Now, when we get things for free, we usually like and enjoy them. But if I think back, now that I know everything that I know about the curriculum, if I had to go back and purchase it with my own money, would I do that? Or would I pass on it? I'm going to let you know at the end of this video. So first of all, let me go ahead and give you an overview of the program. The way that Elementary Spanish Kit A works is it is 3 years of Spanish, and they are called Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. So each step corresponds to a year of Spanish. Step 1, or Year 1, has a DVD component. So there are video lessons that go along with the first year or the first step of this curriculum. The second 2 years, Step 2 and Step 3, you would have to teach on your own. Now, you could certainly teach Year 1 on your own as well. They give you a teacher's manual that covers all 3 years with lots of detailed instruction. For this video review, I'm going to really focus on Step 1 that has the video component. And this is the DVD set that you're going to get. When you get the materials in the mail, if you are like me, you are going to want to just start pulling them out and looking at them and oohing and ahhing over them, and might start like I was to get overwhelmed, like how on earth is this supposed to work? Well, let me give you a little tip. Before you start getting overwhelmed, go ahead and open up this little CD and DVD case. Right here is an Elementary Spanish, the Teacher's Support Material CD. This is a CD that has a lot of helpful information on it for you. So here it is. I printed it out, just part of it here. So it's the Teacher Support Material. It comes with this really helpful letter that is going to explain the course to you. It's going to let you know that the course is 3 years and that you're going to be doing Spanish ideally 2 days a week. Whew, okay, you don't have to do Spanish every day, 2 days a week. And they do encourage you to do some review in between the 2 days that you're doing the video lessons, but we haven't been doing that, and we've still really been enjoying it and having great success with it. Another thing that comes in this on the Teacher Support Material CD, besides this really helpful letter, is a schedule of the videos. And so it's going to tell you, whichever lesson you're on, what work text page, if any, that you're going to be doing, what materials you need to get out for your students. So that's really helpful. It also has some supplemental resources on there as well. Also in here is the video lessons, the DVDs with all the lessons. The very first lesson is actually a parent orientation. I strongly encourage that you watch this. It is so helpful. I was really overwhelmed when I started looking at all of this stuff and thinking, how does it all work together? I mean, I was overwhelmed. I've been homeschooling 14 years and I was overwhelmed. Then I put the DVD in and I watched that orientation lesson and I went, oh, this makes so much sense. So on that orientation, she explains all of the materials that come with it. I mean, in detail, clearly, concisely, in an easy to follow manner. She also explains the format of how the program works. So that is so helpful. I'm looking down at my notes here because I want to make sure I get everything. When I was watching the orientation, two things really jumped out at me. The first one was, oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. They were showing samples of the lessons that were to come for my kids. And I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. I even ran out and showed my husband and was like, look at what the kids and I get to do this year for Spanish. So fun. I just went, this is going to be fun. The second thing that jumped out at me was that they explain in the orientation, and honestly, I see this throughout the videos, that the purpose of learning Spanish is not for our own benefit. The purpose of learning Spanish is so that we can share the gospel with Spanish-speaking people. And I absolutely loved that aspect of it. Now, when it comes to the DVDs and the video lessons on the DVDs, there are some fun aspects to it. First of all, there's this great character named Pancho, and he always has these very humorous encounters with piñatas, and it's a way to expose our kids and introduce them to some new vocabulary. My kids absolutely love this. They think it is so funny. Another kind of portion of the lessons are your children get to go to Bible Club with Pastor Manny, and they're going to learn songs in Spanish. They're going to learn Bible verses in Spanish. They're going to learn Bible truths in Spanish, which I absolutely love. They're also going to get to go to a travel agency where they're going to learn about different Spanish-speaking countries. They're also going to learn about Spanish culture as they visit with Carmen, and she cooks Spanish food in her kitchen. There's even some animated characters that play games and stuff to kind of get your kids to interact. And so lots of different fun components on the DVD portion in step 1, which is the first year of this curriculum. The second thing that I want to share with you is why we are loving this curriculum. Now, one of the reasons that we love this curriculum is because it's fun and engaging. I am using it with a 4-year-old, a 1st grader, a 3rd grader, a 5th grader, and a 7th grader. And they all think it's fun and engaging. Actually, even my 2-year-old will sit in on the lessons if he's not napping, and he is glued to the screen. He is repeating the vocabulary. He's trying to sing the songs in Spanish. He's trying to say the Bible verses in Spanish. I mean, all of us really enjoy it. Now, obviously, this is not geared towards my 5th and 7th grader. If I really wanted them to get a Spanish lesson and use a Spanish curriculum at their level, I probably would need to get Kit B for them. But they still enjoy Kit A. They're still learning. They're still getting exposure to it. It's really meant for lower elementary, but honestly, I'm even enjoying the videos because they are so fun and engaging. We absolutely love them. Now, keep in mind that my family, we don't watch a whole lot of TV, and we watch a lot of older shows like Mr. Rogers or Leave It to Beaver. So take that into consideration when I say my kids absolutely love these videos and find them engaging. But if you have used BJU Press distance learning videos in the past and your children enjoy those, then I think they're going to really enjoy the Spanish one as well, because it's even more fun and engaging, I think, than the normal distance learning videos. I also love that this curriculum teaches not only Spanish vocabulary, but Spanish culture. I think it's so important for our kids to, at least my kids, to know about other cultures. And if we're learning Spanish so that we can share the gospel with Spanish speaking people, then we need to know what their culture is like so that we can engage with them more effectively. So I absolutely love that they're learning vocabulary, they're learning Spanish culture, they're learning about the countries that speak Spanish. It just kind of, I feel like, rounds out the whole Spanish curriculum. The other thing that I love about this curriculum, and it's probably my absolute favorite thing, is that My kids are learning Spanish to the glory of God, and this is something that I think BJU Press does really well with all of their curriculum, but definitely here in the Spanish elementary curriculum is having our kids learn Spanish and practice Spanish to the glory of God. They are learning again that learning Spanish isn't just for their own gain, but to be able to witness and share the good news of Jesus with others. But they are also learning, Bible songs in Spanish. They are learning Bible verses in Spanish. They are learning Bible truth in Spanish. It's almost like, though, that they are getting a Bible lesson and a Spanish lesson all wrapped up in one. So I really, really enjoy that about it as well. And then again, like I said, I just think it's so cool that my kids, as they're learning Spanish vocabulary, they're learning about colors and, numbers in Spanish and, family and objects in the house. They're learning those words, those Spanish words, but they are also learning the Spanish words for the books of the Bible and for Bible verses and Bible truths. So there is just a lot of things that we love as a family about the Spanish curriculum. Third, I want to share with you some things that I think you need to consider before you purchase this curriculum that I think will be helpful for you in making the best decision for your family. First of all, you need to know that these videos here were made in 2007. So they are not up to date in terms of, I guess, the fashion and style of the day. But I think the video quality is still excellent. We don't watch the videos and think they're they're not scratchy or blurry or anything. They're still good quality videos. They're just made in 2007. So that's not an issue for us, but it might be an issue or something that might bother you or another family. So I do want to make you aware of that. The other thing that you need to know is that this kit, Kit A, like I said, it has 3 years of Spanish, step 1, step 2, and step 3. I would say, and I believe this is on their website, but you can go double check, but it seems to me that, step 1 would be more in line with first grade, step 2, second grade, step 3, third grade. Now, I think the DVD portion, step 1, because of the fun and engaging lessons, I think this is something that you could put on and your preschooler could enjoy, and your up to your third grader could enjoy. Like I said, my 5th grader and 7th grader really love it, but they might be just unique 5th and 7th graders. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that most preschoolers to 3rd graders would probably enjoy these videos and learn something from them and find them engaging. But just keep that in mind, that they are more geared towards maybe 1st through 3rd grade, and the DVD portion, which is for the first year, step 1, I would say was written for 1st grade, but again, preschool all the way up to 3rd grade, I think, would enjoy them. The other thing that's important for you to know is that this kit, the focus is on hearing Spanish and speaking Spanish. It's trying to get your kids familiar with the sounds in Spanish and having them practice speaking it. They actually have a little puppet in there that comes with the kit named Choco, and the idea behind him is that a lot of kids are uncomfortable repeating Spanish words or phrases. They might be a little embarrassed, but if they're making the puppet do it, it might kind of free them up to, the puppet's saying it. So that's a nice aspect, but it is really geared towards hearing and speaking the language. So your kids aren't really going to learn in Kit A reading and writing Spanish. There's not like a whole lot of grammar. It's more just getting them familiar with the sounds in Spanish, practicing saying it. And I had another point that I was going to say. What was it? Oh, and a big emphasis on vocabulary. So they are learning a lot of vocabulary words. Another thing that I think you need to consider is that it is currently, as I'm making this video, $440. That's pricey. That's pricey. That's one of the reasons why we didn't purchase it on our own in the beginning of the school year. We just didn't have that in our budget. But again, full disclosure, I was given this for free to review. So the price is expensive. Whether it stays at $4.40, goes up, goes down, I mean, it's still kind of pricey when you first hear that. Thinking a Spanish curriculum for that much money? A couple things I think just to consider when you think of that price. First of all, most BJU Press distance learning, a subject kit runs close to $300. So if you think of it more like that, you're going, oh, okay, well, yeah, second grade math is about $300. Third grade science is $300. So the kit is still right now $440, but it is similar to the other distance learning, the BJU Press distance learning subject kits. So another thing when it comes to thinking about the cost is that you actually get to keep this. You keep every single thing in the kit, including the DVDs. Most of the BJU, well, I guess all of the other BJU distance learning is on lease. So all the other subjects, math, science, history, reading, all of that, you're leasing and you have to give the DVDs back. You don't have to give these back. So if you think about that way, you're thinking, I can reuse these over and over and over again. And for me, these videos are so engaging that I literally could just put them on in the car on a road trip, and my kids could be learning Spanish, and we can watch these over and over again. I could do this with numerous kids for years to come because I don't have to return them. So that's something to consider as well. Also, you're not just getting a year of Spanish, you're getting 3 years. Now there's only 1 year of video, but you do get 2 other years of Spanish curriculum. And like I said, there's a lot in here. If you go and check out that video that I did where I showed you all the components of Kit A, there's a lot of stuff in here. So it is a big price tag, but there are some things that I think make that price tag not so shocking after a while, but it still is a price tag, and so you really need to take that into consideration. There is certainly cheaper Spanish curriculum out there. There's cheaper Spanish curriculum that has video components for sure. But the thing that makes this curriculum stand out is that it incorporates biblical truth, and it focuses on sharing the gospel, and it teaches Spanish culture. I don't know, I mean, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below, but I don't know of any other Spanish curriculum for the elementary age that incorporates learning about the culture, that incorporates biblical truth, and that the focus is on learning Spanish to share the gospel. One of the things that I forgot to mention is that they even have a missionary component to the videos. So my kids are getting to meet, I think they're real life missionaries, and they're sharing about their experience on the mission field in Spanish speaking cultures. I mean, I don't know any other Spanish curriculum that does that. So yes, you absolutely can find cheaper Spanish curriculum. It really comes down to what are your goals? What are your desires for, having your children learn Spanish? If you just want them to know vocabulary, that's it. I just want them to know vocabulary. I want them to be exposed to hearing, the Spanish language being spoken, then yeah, you could probably find a great Spanish curriculum for a whole lot cheaper. If you really think it's important and you're kind of getting excited about the fact that there's biblical truth, there's Bible songs and Bible verses, and that your kids are learning about other cultures, and that they would be learning about missionaries and, different Spanish countries, if that makes you excited, I don't know any other curriculum that does that. And so that to me is the kind of selling point in this curriculum, is all that extra stuff, the culture, the Bible stuff, the gospel centered, it's Christ centered and it's gospel centered. And to me, that is really important. That's the selling point for me. Now, the big question that I know you are probably waiting for me to answer is, if I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, would I purchase this with my own money? Yes and no. Let me explain. This current school year, my priority was not Spanish. I was thrilled to have this curriculum to review. We have loved it. We have been blessed by it. I am thrilled to use it in years to come, but Spanish was not my priority. And we really invest our money in our priorities as a family. And so since Spanish wasn't a priority, I would not have purchased the curriculum. Actually, I already told you, I think I mentioned that I wanted this curriculum, but it wasn't a priority, so it didn't get purchased. When they said, hey, we'll send you something for free, I was like, I know exactly what I want. I want the Spanish kit because I'd been looking at it. It looks so good. But so if I had to go back for this school year, I would not purchase it with my own money because Spanish was not a priority. And I know we didn't start it until after December. It just wouldn't have been a good investment because we couldn't use all the components and make good use of it this school year. That being said, if in future years Spanish was a higher priority, I would definitely purchase this with my own money. If every year I kind of reevaluate what are kind of our goal, like our top goals. Some years it's like we really need to work on spelling, or I really want to make sure I get read alouds in. This year was more of we just need to survive this school year. My kids need to get some schoolwork done. That's why we went with a lot of BJU Press distance learning videos. But if it was a year that learning Spanish was more of a priority and I just really wanted to make sure that I set aside time for that, then absolutely this is the curriculum that I would go with. Because again, having curriculum that is Christ-centered and gospel-centered, that comes from a biblical worldview, is really important to me. If that's not important to you, then you probably don't want to invest in this curriculum. But for me, biblical worldview, gospel-centered, all the things I shared with you that I love about this curriculum, that's why I would invest it into it with my own money, even with the price tag. Also, I've got a lot of kids, so I know that since I can hold on to these, I don't have to return them. I'm going to get a lot of use out of them. And so that makes sense to me. If I can use this with 4, 5 kids, that's a good investment. So for me, I would definitely go back and purchase it if Spanish was a priority or more higher up on the priority list than it was this year. One last thing that I want to let you know about that I forgot to tell you is that the curriculum comes with workbooks. And when you purchase Kit 1, you're going to get 3 workbooks. You're going to get a workbook for Step 1, a workbook for Step 2, a workbook for Step 3 for one student, okay? Now, I was sent workbooks for free for all of my kids that are using the curriculum. Actually, my 7th grader and my preschooler are sharing because my preschooler is doing all the little activities in there. My 7th grader certainly doesn't need to do a lot of the little things in there, but she's using it because it has the Bible truths and the Bible verses and the Bible songs in there that she can read and review. But it only comes with one set of workbooks. So in theory, if you were going to reuse this again with another child, or you were using it with several children in 1 year, you would in theory need to buy several workbooks. Okay, here's what I'm going to let you know. I don't think for Step 1, I don't think the workbooks are necessary. I think you need to have at least one workbook because, like I said, it has the songs and the Bible truths and the verses, and it has the vocabulary there that you're going to want to review with your child. But the activities in there, I don't think really enhance learning Spanish. The video component is what makes the vocabulary come to life and everything stick. So you could certainly, if you have a workbook, if you're not going to have your kids color in it, and again, there really isn't that much to do in the workbook. It really is more like cutting out the vocabulary cards and having the, like I said, the Bible verses and songs and stuff. So you could certainly buy this kit and use one workbook for step 1 for all of your kids. Again, they're not going to be writing in it, but it will be there for reference and to review. Now, I would say in step 2 and step 3, you would need another workbook because you don't have the DVD component, and so I think you would probably need the workbook to practice and reinforce a little bit. But again, maybe you could get by with one as well. So that is something that I did want to share with you. I meant to include that up farther up in the review, but I completely forgot about it, but I wanted to make sure that I got that in for you. I think I kept this video a little bit shorter than I was anticipating. I was talking fast, but hopefully I covered everything and answered a lot of your questions. If you still have questions, leave those in the comments below. And if you have a favorite Spanish curriculum for the elementary school years, share that with us down in the comments, because people that are watching this video are watching it because they're trying to pick a Spanish curriculum in the elementary years for their child. This one might not be a good fit, but maybe you know of one that other families might enjoy. Leave that down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again really soon in another video. Bye-bye.